$4.8 million spent in Ukraine for social media influencers. While you're at it, we spent, not we, but the people who vote for this, I've voted against all of this, but the members of the Senate who voted for this spent several $100,000 sending designers in Ukraine to the fashion show in Paris. It goes on and on.
This is my video update on this Saturday afternoon, February the 22nd, coming to you from Athens, Greece. Let's talk about some news. So Marco Rubio posted on X that on Monday, the United States is going to be presenting a resolution to the United Nations for peace in Ukraine. POTUS is committed to ending the Russia-Ukraine war. On Monday, 3 years since the Russia-Ukraine war, the U.S. will propose to the United Nations a landmark resolution the entire UN membership should support in order to chart a path to peace. This is not going to be, from what I understand, it's not going to be the actual plan that Trump has in mind for a resolution to the conflict in Ukraine, but it's going to be a resolution which seeks the UN endorsement for the Trump administration to chart a path towards peace in Ukraine. This is coming from the United States. I wonder if Russia has been consulted on this. I wouldn't be surprised if Russia has been consulted on this, and they vote yes in the United Nations for a path to chart a path to peace in Ukraine, and Ukraine has not been consulted on this, and they vote no. I don't know. Something like that could happen. Maybe this is another way for the Trump administration to further put pressure on the Green Goblin, take it to the United Nations and get the UN's endorsement. So we have breaking news from UK Sky News. I haven't seen any other media outlets report this. So maybe this is accurate reporting. Maybe this is not, but I'm going to take a risk and talk about it in this video. Maybe when I publish this video, this will be debunked, but I don't think so. I do not think so. Sky News is reporting that according to their sources in Ukraine with the Elensky administration, Elensky's not going to be signing the rare earth minerals deal. Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, they reported yesterday that Ukraine was going to sign, possibly today, most likely today, they were going to sign the rare earth minerals deal. And Trump and his administration even said that they were confident that Ukraine was going to sign the rare earth minerals deal today. And then we get this breaking news from Sky News, which says, Elensky not ready to sign problematic Ukraine minerals deal with U.S., sources tell Sky News. President Trump has continued his recent criticism of Elensky despite his Ukraine envoy referring to him as a courageous leader of a nation at war. That's Kellogg. Kellogg met with Elensky, and they didn't have a press conference after their meeting. Actually, Kellogg was in Kiev for 3 days, from what I understand, and there were no press conferences or anything like that. But when Kellogg was leaving Kiev, he posted on X that Elensky is a courageous leader. That's Kellogg. Kellogg, the distraction. Keep them all distracted. Tell them what they want to hear and keep them distracted. But Sky News is saying that Elensky is not signing the minerals deal, even though he was expected, very much expected, to sign the deal today. From Sky News, Donald Trump had said a deal was close, but a source with knowledge of the negotiations told Sky News the Ukrainian president is not ready to sign. The Ukrainian source said the agreement is not yet ready to be signed. There are a number of problematic issues, and in the current form of the draft, the president is not ready to accept it. Today, The drafts do not reflect a partnership in the agreement and contain only unilateral commitments by Ukraine. Only unilateral commitments by Ukraine. You know what they mean by that? They mean that in the rare earth minerals deal, that there are no provisions for U.S. security guarantees, which is what Elensky wants. He wants ironclad, rock solid, 100% U.S. security guarantees if he's going to sign over half of Ukraine's resource wealth, which is what the minerals deal is basically all about. It is a tough deal on Ukraine. We are talking very, very tough. This is according to the Telegraph and Bloomberg and the Financial Times. They haven't seen the full deal. They haven't seen all of the details, but according to these news outlets, what they've seen, they say it is really, really bad for Ukraine if they sign this deal. I mean, Ukraine is giving up everything pretty much to the United States. But they want security guarantees. Elensky wants the U.S. military. That's what he wants, the U.S. military. And that's not going to be in this deal. That's why he's not signing it. He's screwed, though, man. I mean, he's screwed. If he doesn't sign it, he's screwed. If he signs it, he's screwed. I mean, I don't have any other way to put it. So that's the breaking news. We'll see if other news outlets report the same or if this is inaccurate reporting from Sky News. We'll find out. Probably by the time I publish this video, we'll find out. Maybe Elensky will have signed the deal by the time I publish this video, and Sky News was doing some bad reporting. Their sources were off. But Elensky yesterday, in a panic, because he is panicking, he called up a bunch of EU leaders to get support. To get some support. He needed some love, some support, to know that he still has some friends out there. And so he called a bunch of EU leaders. And one of the leaders that he called was DUDA. Walk on the wild side. DUDA. the DUDA, da. That's all I want to say to you. DUDA's name is a whole bunch of songs. It's a whole bunch of rock songs, DUDA's name. But anyway, yeah, he called DUDA, and DUDA posted on X that he was done speaking with Elensky, just got off the phone with the Green Goblin. He didn't say Green Goblin, he said Elensky, but I'm saying Green Goblin. Got off the phone with Green Goblin, and I told the Green Goblin, just do what Trump tells you to do. That's pretty much what DUDA said in his post. I'll put the post up on the screen right now. It's a long post, a fairly long post on X, but you can see what DUDA told Elensky. Basically, to summarize it, DUDA told Elensky, look, bro, that Elensky number 5 smells good. It's intoxicating, but it's not working on Trump. So just sign the deal, sign the minerals deal, and just do whatever Trump tells you to do. That's pretty much what DUDA told Elensky. Looks like Elensky didn't listen to DUDA, because if you go off of Sky News and they're reporting, he's not signing the minerals deal. So the Wall Street Journal, they talked about the minerals deal yesterday. They posted an article with the title, White House and Ukraine close in on deal for mineral rights. Agreement could help resolve tensions that flared up between Elensky and Trump. That's what the Wall Street Journal was reporting yesterday, saying that today there would be a signature on this rare earth minerals deal. The details were not known, but we did have a basic framework of what this deal was about. The 50% of Ukraine's rare earth minerals, $500 billion in value, going to the United States. And the interesting part, actually, is that this wasn't only about rare earth minerals, according to the Wall Street Journal, the Financial Times, the Telegraph, Bloomberg. They actually reported that according to what they've seen of the deal, yes, there is rare earth minerals, but they're also talking about, the deal is talking about the United States getting Ukraine gas, Ukraine oil, controlling the ports, just about everything. They extract all of Ukraine's wealth, and the deal was going to fall under the conditions of the deal. We're going to fall under New York law. So if anything went wrong, you're talking about courts in New York dealing with this agreement. And I also read in the Telegraph that revenues generated from the extraction of Ukraine's resources would first go to the United States and then go to the people of Ukraine. So first the United States would get paid, and then the money would go to the actual state of Ukraine, the actual people of Ukraine. The Wall Street Journal, in their article yesterday, talking about this deal that is very close to being signed. At least that's what they thought yesterday. They said that that Kellogg was in Ukraine, and he convinced Elensky to just sign it. He was there 3 days, and he convinced Elensky just sign the deal. You don't have anything else to play. You have no other cards to play, man, so just sign it. That's what the Wall Street Journal was reporting. But Reuters is reporting that one of the big factors to push Elensky to talk about signing this deal was the news that on March 1st, Starlink was going to be shut down for the Ukraine military. And that was putting pressure on Elensky to sign the deal. Without Starlink, the Ukraine military would be operating in the dark pretty much. They really rely on Starlink big time. And if Starlink was shut down on March 1st, they'd have big freaking problems. They also reported that this was going to require a huge investment to actually extract the rare earth minerals, the wealth that reportedly is in Ukraine with these rare earth minerals. For example, where is it? Bloomberg said the same thing. Elensky acknowledged earlier this month that around half of its rare earth deposits are under Russian occupation. Writing for Bloomberg this week, commodities expert Javier Blas argued that Trump's expectations from a deal are grossly exaggerated because Ukraine has no significant rare earth deposits other than small scandium mines. That is what Bloomberg wrote about with regards to the rare earth minerals. The Daily Mail says mining analysts and economists say Ukraine currently has no commercially operational rare earth mines. Many companies slowed or ceased operations at the start of the war, and restarting industry in a war-torn country will present a mammoth challenge for any companies willing to take the risk. That's what the Daily Mail is reporting. And the agreement, Daily Mail also says the agreement shall be governed by New York law without regard to conflict of laws principles, it stated, going to say that for all future licenses, the U.S. will have a right at first refusal for the purchase of exportable minerals. Yeah, basically this is an awful deal for Elensky. But he doesn't really have many options, does he? And all of the outlets that have seen some of this deal, they're all saying that 50% of the rare earth minerals are under Russian control. And the rest of the rare earth minerals are in central Kiev, which would make it very problematic to mine. And probable that if the war continues in its current trajectory, Russia will have those rare earth minerals located in central Kiev as well. So I don't really think this is about rare earth minerals. Maybe that's the buzzword, but I can definitely see interest in the gas and the oil and the port. The port. Could we be talking about Odessa? I can't think of another port that the U.S. would like to control, or perhaps to have as some sort of leverage with Russia. in negotiations. That could be interesting. But of course, Russia, if there was a deal signed by Elensky in the United States, and the Trump administration used this deal as some sort of leverage in negotiations, would Russia recognize this deal signed by the illegitimate president of Ukraine? They consider him illegitimate. So Russia would not even consider this a real deal, given how they view Elensky. Anyway, that is what the Wall Street Journal was reporting yesterday. Trump was on Fox News yesterday as well. He gave a radio interview to Fox News' Brian Kilmeade. Brian Kilmeade. He's very neoconish in his reporting. Does not like Russia. He does not like Russia. He's a fan of the Green Goblin, but Trump likes to give interviews with this guy, and Trump said that Elensky has no cards to play, and he's right. Elensky has no cards to play. Actually, I believe 2 days ago on Air Force One, Trump said that Russia has all the cards. So on Air Force One, Trump says that Russia has all the cards. An interesting admission, a correct admission from Trump. And then he says on this Fox News interview that Ukraine has no cards. And he also goes on to say that he's been watching this conflict in Ukraine unfold over the past 3 years. And he basically said that Biden had no idea what he was doing, and Elensky's incompetent, and he's sick of it. He actually uses the words, "I'm sick of it." I'm sick of it, he says. Biden's incompetent, Elensky's incompetent, and he's like, "I'm sick of it." That's what he said. And he didn't use the words incompetent, but when you listen to the interview with Fox News, that's what he was getting at. All of these people over the past 3 years in the collective West, they were all incompetent. He even said that Stammer and Macron, because they're going to be traveling to the United States, he said, look, they're good people. He said, they're good people. I'm friends with Macron, but they did nothing for 3 years. He said that as well. They did nothing. They did nothing. And then he also said, this is an interesting line that he said in the interview. He said that we don't even know. He said, who knows what the rare earth minerals are worth? He said, who knows what the rare earth minerals are worth, and who even knows if they have them? That's what he said. Who even knows if they have the rare earth minerals?
If I won the election, which I did, it's a war that never, ever would have started. So I've been watching for years, and I've been watching him negotiate with no cards. He has no cards. And you get sick of it. You just get sick of it. And I've had it. And he then made a deal with us for rare earth and things. And who knows what rare earth is worth, but at least it's something. And who knows what it's worth. Who knows if they even have it. But we made a deal with rare earth, and Secretary of Treasury, a very good guy, actually went there, and they couldn't even come close to getting a deal done.
This deal, to me, it feels like Trump wants this deal because Russia has all the cards. They're negotiating with the U.S. and Trump. I don't know. I just get the sense that Trump wants something. He wants something to take to Russia and say, look, not to pressure them. Maybe leverage is the wrong word to use, but to go to Russia and say, look, let's talk business. Let's talk business. Let's wrap this war up. And let's talk business. I have this agreement right here. And there's only one country in the world that is positioned to really help the United States fulfill what would be this 50% of Ukraine's resources deal. There's only one country that could help the United States, in my opinion, and that would be Russia. That's my sense of things. Because Trump, he also stated that in negotiations, he was asked about Elensky and how come he's not at the table. Once again, how come Elensky's not at the table? And Trump said, look, he just came out and said it. Elensky is useless. He serves no purpose. He's not important. We don't need him at these bilateral negotiations. He just came out and said it. That's a bad sign if you're the Green Goblin. If you're listening to all of this, you're probably just saying, oh my God, it's over. It's over, man. It's over, man. Game over, man. Podolyak. Why this man say I'm useless? I'm good actor. Oh, man. And Reuters, they put out an article talking about the 300 billion in Russian frozen assets. And Reuters put out an article with the title, Russia could concede 300 billion in frozen assets as part of Ukraine war settlement, sources say. Now, the sources that Reuters is going off of, I believe they said they have 2 or 3 sources in Russia that are telling them that Russia's discussing, the Kremlin is talking about, possibly could concede the 300 billion in frozen assets as part of a Ukraine reconstruction settlement. That's the key part. Now, everyone is talking about this article, but one thing is interesting in their reporting, if you go off of their sources in Russia. The money that could be released for reconstruction does not only cover Ukraine, it would cover the 4 new regions that are part of the Russian Federation. In other words, the 300 billion would go towards investment and reconstruction of Ukraine and the Russian oblasts. Kherson, Donetsk, Lugansk, Zaporozhye. That's interesting. I think that's a very interesting part of this reporting from Reuters. And Reuters says in their reporting that these are sovereign Russian assets, and they're in the form it says you're talking about 300 to 350 billion. That's the number that that Reuters put. And you're talking about sovereign Russian frozen assets in the form of US and UK bonds. That's what we're talking about. US and UK bonds frozen at Euroclear. And if this is part of some really big deal, like a big grand bargain deal, then you could be looking at, according to their sources in Russia, you could be looking at these assets being used for the reconstruction of everything, investment and reconstruction of everything. Investment, maybe you're also talking about investment, ports, oil, gas, rare earth. I don't know, because a lot of the experts, when they were talking about the rare earth minerals deal, they said that if there is any money that's going to come out of these rare earth minerals, which are not really rare, but anyway, if there really is going to be mining of these minerals, then you're looking at 5 to 10 years out, and you're looking at hundreds of billions in investment to mine the rare earth minerals. And what is the country that can help you best in actually making this a reality? Russia. So that's the article from Reuters. And then we go to Macron and Keir Starmer, 008. Macron, he will be traveling to DC. 008, licensed to bore you, will be traveling to DC, but they're not going to be traveling together. Macron will be going to the United States on Monday. Politico reports Macron beats Starmer to be the first European leader to visit the White House in new Trump era. And Starmer is going to be going to the U.S., I believe, on Thursday. And what's the goal? The goal is to convince Trump to fight on.
Je vais vous dire, la Russie, elle est déjà agressive avec l'Europe tout entière. Ça a commencé, ça s'est intensifié. Et c'est ça ce que je vous disais. Je vous disais, elle aide l'Iran, qui est une menace. Elle met des soldats nord-coréens sur le sol européen. Elle a une armée très forte. Elle nous attaque sur l'information, le cyber, la migration, mais j'aurais pu citer d'autres choses. C'est une menace dans le spatial. Elle a eu des actions très agressives dans le spatial. Elle nous déstabilise, elle attaque nos intérêts en Afrique. Elle nous provoque, elle nous teste en mer comme dans les airs. Et elle a cet effort de guerre que j'évoquais.
Elon Musk is still digging at Ukraine and at Elensky. He's still going after them really hard. Amuse put out a tweet talking about the corruption in Ukraine, saying that French police say Elensky's defense ministry official stole 46 million, not the reported 40 million, buying a villa in France for 2.5 million, a vineyard for 6.5 million, and 27 land plots for 1 million. How many billions were looted? And Elon Musk, he quoted this post and said, "Tip of the iceberg." I don't know if any of this stuff is true. That amuses posting, but Elon Musk is saying tip of the iceberg. You know, yesterday I talked about Reznikov and the over-invoicing of food to the military. That's what I said in my video update yesterday. Take a look at that. Take a look at Reznikov. Take a look at the over-invoicing of food that happened about 2.5 years ago. There's something there. Definitely something there. And that actually led to Reznikov's dismissal, his resignation, and then his disappearance. Ambassador to the UK, and then he just kind of faded away. Faded away, Reznikov. The Economist is panicking. They put out, Neocon Central, they put out an article with the title, Europe's Worst Nightmare. That says it all, huh? If Trump goes the path of cooperation and business with Russia, and Russia agrees to do business with Trump and the United States, then yeah, it's Europe's worst nightmare. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Politico is reporting that China's on board with all of this. So Politico is saying, USAID-funded Politico, China supports all efforts aimed at achieving peace, including the recent consensus reached by the United States and Russia, and is ready to play a constructive role in peace talks, Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Politico's title says China says it backs new U.S. and Russian consensus on Ukraine war. You know, we may have, for the first time, we may have real business, big business, very big, very real business taking place between Russia and the United States that benefits both sides. Not just the United States investing in Russia, but both countries actually working together, and both countries benefiting from whatever deals they come up with. Maybe. But if you do get that sort of dynamic, then that's a good thing. That is a good thing going forward for world peace. Because if they're married in very big, very profitable, very important business ventures, win-win business ventures, then it becomes very difficult for new conflicts to break out. And it makes sense. If you're the United States, if I was the United States, if I was Trump, I would say, look, what can Europe offer us? Nothing. They just take money. Europe is an expense. Russia could be profit, revenue. That's how I would look at it. Russia can provide revenue. Europe is just an expense. That's it. It is just an expense, man. Tourism. It provides tourism. There you go. Tourism and money to the military-industrial complex. But Russia can provide so much more. And save you money on your military expenses if that's your goal. Remember, Trump did say that he would like to slash the defense budget. So Europe, what they're doing is they are preparing $20 billion to Ukraine. They're preparing a new package, a big package, $20 billion. It's going to start off at $6 billion, but they're going to ramp it up to $20 billion. Once again, from Politico, EU leaders plan $20 billion Ukraine aid package as Trump turns against Elensky. The push to replenish Ukraine's arms supplies is being coordinated by the bloc's top diplomat, former Estonian Prime Minister, stunning and brave Kaja Kallas, and aims to surpass previous European commitments of military aid. Diplomats stressed that the aid, which is still being negotiated, would likely come in the form of pooled contributions from individual member states rather than an official EU package, given opposition from certain states, namely Hungary. So they're planning a weapons package, money and weapons to Ukraine. They claim they're going to use this big package to ramp up weapons productions, to purchase weapons, to purchase artillery shells. We've been down this road before, purchasing artillery shells and all of this nonsense, 1 million shells, 1.5 million shells. The EU failed at all of this in the past. I don't know what makes them think they're going to succeed now, but that's what they're talking about, a big 20 billion package. And they're going to structure it in a way that it's the member states that are going to contribute the money. And it's going to go into a pot, a big slush fund, but it's going to be the member states that actually put the money in this slush fund instead of this coming out of the EU budget or something like that, because they want to avoid a Hungarian veto and possibly a Slovakian veto as well. Slovak Fico vetoing the deal as well. If they go for an EU budget package, then yeah, Orban and Fico are going to block this. So they're going to go to the individual member states and say, give us X amount of money. And it's going to go into this big slush fund. And the money's going to be managed, supervised by Kaya Kallas. Oh my God. Coordinated by Kaya Kallas. And it's going to go towards providing weapons for Ukraine. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong, huh? 20 billion managed by Kaya Kallas? Yeah, we're talking a success. We're talking a big time success. Oh my God. Might as well just throw your money away. I mean, seriously. Greece, if you're going to contribute money to this, Greece or Cyprus, it's just better to just take the money and burn it, man. Jeez. And give it to Kaya Kallas to manage. Oh my God. All right, some more updates. What else do we have going on today? Trump was asked about attending the May 9th Victory Day in Moscow, and he ruled it out. And the Kremlin was also asked about this, and they ruled it out. The reason they were asked is because there was a French publication that claimed that Trump was preparing a trip to Russia for May 9th for Victory Day celebration. But Trump said, no, it's not going to happen. The Kremlin said that it's not going to happen. We'll see. We will see. We will see. We still have a couple of months ahead of us before the May 9th Victory Day celebration. Apple phones, they are opening up the iCloud to Keir Starmer, 008. Just in, terrible news for UK iPhone users. Apple pulls huge iPhone feature of data security tool after UK government demands access to user data. Apple has never done this in any market before. No UK customer data stored on iCloud will be encrypted, making it accessible. Bad news, man. Really bad news. In the UK, the iCloud will not have encryption, and it will be accessible to UK authorities. For UK citizens, the UK authorities will be able to go into iCloud and to see whatever they want to see, access whatever they want to access. And if Apple has bowed down to the UK's demands, my guess would be that pretty soon the EU is going to request the same from Apple, and Apple will also bow down to the EU's demands, and that's it. That's it for iCloud. Nothing's going to be hidden or safe in iCloud anymore. Very bad news. Big news, but very bad news. And finally, the Epstein list is on Pam Bondi's desk. The Attorney General, she said in an interview yesterday that she's got the list. It is on her desk. She says it's a lot of stuff to go over, but she assured everybody that that list will be released. We'll see. We will see. When she releases that list, then I'll believe it. If that list is released, then I'll believe it. Until then, I don't believe it. I do not believe it. Anyway, let's do some Clown Worlds, and we will wrap this video up. And let's start off with the German publication Spiegel, which has a picture of Elensky, a very sad Green Goblin, with the title in German, Verraten, it says. Verraten, which I guess means betrayed. Betrayed. And then it says, first Elensky, soon us. Betrayed. First Elensky, soon us. Sounds like a movie title, huh? Betrayed. First Elensky, soon us. Yeah. Germany's all in on Elensky. All in, Germany. Annalena, Schultz, BlackRock, Merz. They're all in. Except for the AfD. The AfD does not like Elensky. The German mainstream media, all in on Elensky, on their support of Elensky. Betrayed. Betrayed by Trump. Betrayed by the United States. How dare the United States betray the man in the green t-shirt? Annalena is asking the same thing. How dare you betray Elensky? How dare you betray Project Ukraine, America? How dare you betray Europe, the liberal democracies of Europe? And Annalena warned the United States. She was at a campaign rally giving a speech, and she said, we will increase pressure on the U.S. to make it clear that they have a lot to lose if they stop supporting Europe's liberal democracies. That is the warning from Annalena 360 to all of the United States. A warning to Trump, a warning to J.D. Vance, a warning to the Trump administration, a warning to the American people from Annalena 360. If you turn your back on us, then you will be punished. You will face the wrath of Annalena. The wrath of Annalena 360. 720i, Annalena. How dare you stop supporting Europe's liberal democracies? Liberal democracies. What's a liberal democracy anyway? I don't know. What, as opposed to a conservative democracy? As opposed to maybe a moderate democracy? I like moderate democracies, you know? Moderate democracies are cool. They're kind of chill, kind of moderate, you know? They're not on the left, they're not on the right. Kind of moderate, kind of laid back. I like the laid back democracies. I don't know, the liberal hipster, the hipster democracies. I don't know, I'm not a fan. And the conservative democracies, I don't know, the conservative democracies, they're all suited up, you know, suit and tie. Very conservative, I don't know. But yeah, the liberal democracies of Europe. She has no idea what that means. She has no idea. I wish I can get into an event with Annalena speaking so I can ask her just one question. Miss 360, can you please define liberal democracy for us all here? You use that word a lot. What exactly are you talking about when you say a liberal democracy? What makes a liberal democracy better than just a democracy? Oh boy, Annalena's warning to the U.S. And from what I understand, my sources in the U.S. tell me that America is panicking. The citizens of the U.S. are panicking, in panic mode. Yeah, the fear of Annalena. And what else? Politico, finally, last clown word, Politico is reporting, according to their sources, their Ukrainian intel sources, always a reliable source, Ukrainian intel, that Russia wants to declare victory on February 24th. Moscow wants to show itself victorious against Ukraine and NATO on third anniversary of invasion. Kiev's HUR says, Kiev's intel. Yeah, that's the problem with this entire freaking war, this entire conflict. The problem is that the collective West media has been relying on Ukraine intel. That's been the problem. That is why everyone in the collective West, in leadership positions, has been so misinformed. Because they are reading articles like Politico, and they actually believe nonsense like this, coming from Ukrainian intel. Yeah, Russia wants to declare victory on the 24th. That's right. Every couple of months we get articles like this. Russia wants to declare victory on Christmas. Russia wants to declare victory on February 24th. Russia wants to declare victory on New Year's Day. Russia wants to declare victory on New Year's Eve, on April Fools, on Mother's Day. on I don't know, on Putin's birthday. every couple of months you get an article like this. Oh boy. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. The Duran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and X. Go to the Duran shop, pick up some merch like what I'm wearing in this video update. There you go, right there. Duran shop, link is in the description box down below. I will see everybody tomorrow. Take care.